Hey guys, how you doing? Hopefully you're doing okay. I'm not going to read through the full details within the article, but I will give you a thorough overview. It's an absolute tragedy. There is a link in the description. It's in regards to a young lady, Jailene Holton, hopefully I pronounced her name correctly, 21 years of age, from Philadelphia. And apparently she rarely went out, but her friends encouraged her to go out, to have some fun. And she went out with a group of friends. They did a little bit of this, a little bit of that. They ended up in a bar called the Philly Bar and Grill, and this happened Tuesday night in Philadelphia. And there was a pool tournament within the facility. There was a pool tournament, and one of the customers, one of the other patrons within the bar, was angry. They wanted to use a particular pool table. The pool table wasn't available. The patron became angry. He was kicked out by bouncers. But when he was in the parking lot, he made multiple shots. He fired multiple shots. I believe 15 shots were fired towards the building from the parking lot, which was about 200 feet away or more. 10 bullets hit the outside of the building. 5 punctured the glass windows. One of those bullets hit this young lady, Jailene Holton, 21 years of age. Out for a night out with friends to have some fun, a bit of relaxation, a celebration of life. 21 years old, right on the cusp of adulthood. She goes out, ends up in a bar with her friends, shot by a scumbag who was upset about a pool table. Okay, I'm going to go on a bit of a rant at this point. You know what? I won't. I'll finish this off, then I'll go on a rant. Jailene was the only person hit by a bullet in the shooting. The suspect fled in a dark-coloured pickup truck. Jailene was found unresponsive and suffering from a gunshot wound to the head. She was rushed to the hospital. Doctors performed an emergency surgery, but she eventually succumbed to her injuries around 4 a.m. The mother has said that the hardest part is that Jailene never goes out. She was a good kid. She worked. She was at home a lot. She wasn't a street person. She wasn't a troublemaker. Here is the premises. She's a young lady. She was a young lady minding her own business, trying to carve a decent life for herself, and that's been taken away. There is a GoFundMe, so there will be a link in the description. They've come close to their goal. It's a fairly modest goal. Some goals are a lot higher than that. It might be, if you're in a position to donate, it might be one to consider to cover funeral expenses. So I'm going to go on a bit of a rant. Of course, it's an absolute tragedy, taken down in the cusp of her life, the cusp of her adult life, a particularly bright and clearly a very beautiful young lady. Going to go on a rant. Why the hell has this happened over a pool table? What is going on? So yesterday I made a video in regards to an incident which happened, I think it was on Sunday in Atlanta. A customer of a Subway takeaway shot and killed one of the female employees and also shot another employee who has survived. The second lady was shot twice in front of her own 5-year-old son. I don't wish to mix up these two incidences, but this one that I'm talking about now, the one that happened on Sunday in Atlanta in a Subway takeaway store, that was over having too much mayonnaise in the sandwich. The customer, who was known to the premises, he had been there before, perhaps a regular, but certainly he had been there before. He ordered a sandwich. He was given his sandwich. He was upset that there was too much mayonnaise in the sandwich. What did he do? Did he ask for a refund? Did he ask for a remake? Did he ask for someone to take some of the mayonnaise off of the sandwich, scoop it off. Maybe give him a little bit more jalapeno. No, he shot and killed one of the employees. He shot another employee twice. That's not sane. That is not sane. That is not commensurate with the hardship that that patron faced. He was upset about mayonnaise. He goes and murders someone and attempts murder. This is a very similar situation in that something extremely trivial, the lack of availability of a pool table, was enough to turn somebody into a murderer, into a killer. Maybe the shooter, maybe the killer already is a shooter. Maybe they already are a gangbanger. Maybe taking 15 shots towards a building is something they do on the regular. And I would like to know, I really do hope that the investigators are able to get some leads. It seems that there aren't too many leads. The article isn't providing us with a description of the suspect. It's merely saying that they got away in a dark-colored pickup truck. That's all we know. So I really do hope that there's CCTV witnesses. Well, there will be witnesses. He was in the bar. He was thrown out. So there would have been dozens of people that would have seen him. I hope they find him. And I would like to know whether or not the shooter, the killer of this young lady, Jailene Holton, 21 years of age from Philadelphia, I want to know if that shooter, that killer, has a criminal history. I want to know if they're a gangbanger. I want to know if they're a serial killer. I want to know if they go around shooting, if this is a thing for them, to shoot at people. I want to know if they have a history of mental health illness. I want to know if they've been diagnosed with schizophrenia, bipolar, whatever it happens to be. And I want to know if they're otherwise a law-abiding citizen, if they normally go to work, come home, pay the bills, look after their children. If they are normally an upstanding member of society, because my suspicion is, and I could be wrong, might well be wrong, but there seems to be a lot of these examples where these heinous crimes are happening, and the motive is that the shooter is upset about something ridiculously trivial, absurdly trivial. So my theory is that it is potential that something has occurred in the world. I don't think these issues are limited to the United States, but something has happened in the world such that it is leading people to lose self-control to an excessive amount. You know, we've seen, as I mentioned the subway case. There was also that case in America, I can't remember where there was a road rage incident and a guy in an SUV or an estate wagon type of vehicle chased down a woman. I think she was Asian. You've perhaps seen the video. Chased her down, ran over her over some trivial road rage incident. She was a pedestrian. You know, in Australia, there was a case, let's say 3 months ago, where they were at a fair, a fete, they had Ferris wheels and this kind of thing, and a woman punched a toddler out of the arms of its parent and attempted to stomp on the toddler. Broad daylight at a fair, hundreds, thousands of people in the area. My feeling is, and I could well be wrong, but my feeling is that law-abiding citizens are losing self-control and committing really heinous acts, like particularly heinous acts of violence, which are not commensurate with the suffering that they faced. The shooter wasn't able to use a pool table. Oh no. How the fuck does that justify firing 15 shots towards a building? How the fuck does that justify killing a young lady in her at the peak the beginning of her adulthood? I don't know. There's my rant. I'm probably gonna continue saying what I'm saying because I think I'm probably gonna continue to see potential situations where these situations could occur where otherwise law-abiding citizens are doing these heinous, violent things. I mean, even if they're not law-abiding citizens, even if they are criminals, then these are still ridiculous acts of violence which don't make sense. And I think something has happened to make people lose control. I don't know. Call me crazy. Gonna wrap things up here at this point, guys. Of course, full condolences to the family concerned, the mother. This article mentions the uncle, the distress the uncle is facing. There is the GoFundMe, so please do check that out. If you're in a position to donate, of course, please do consider that. I'm going to wrap things up. Please do like, comment, subscribe, share the video as you see fit if you like the content. And take care, guys. The world is mad. Protect yourselves as best you can.